We are back and black. Are we black, guys?
I mean, depending on who you talk to, like
most of the
Yeah, why would you declare that and then
Ollie did 23andMe, right?
were we not black in segment 1? Like,
yeah, is that new? Is this different?
No, won't stop. The way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
PPC.
I kick back,
Oh,
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh, yeah.
And I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Y'all Boys Talkin, a podcast about nonsensical improvement, where each week we'll talk about not only bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves. My name is Joshua Jean Baptiste. I'm an actor, writer based out of Miami, Florida.
I am Frank Hernandez, a filmmaker and pro wrestling aficionado who was initially born in the Bronx, New York, met these boys in Miami, Florida, but is currently residing in Los Angeles, California.
In the streets of LA.
Streets of LA.
My name is Steve Del Valentino. I'm a developer and designer from Miami, currently living in San Francisco.
My name is Maximo Santana. I'm an esteemed man of letters, a dignified labor enthusiast, an educator, a trainer here in the Bay Area.
Where the fuck did you go to get dignified?
You know, I just stood outside. I had a nice hat on, and they were like, "That man is dignified."
So you walk out, and as long as you have a nice hat, like, oh, well, he's
That man is dignified.
Otherwise, you're just a man of letters.
You have to be seen leaving a haberdashery. And then someone's gonna be like, "That's a dignified gentleman."
This is a dignified place to be.
Yeah.
That being said, the four of us have known each other since high school, and over the course of the years, we've always done a really good job of keeping track of our own personal progresses and where we are with our career, our life, our mind, body, and soul. And we developed this concept called STTT, which stands for Straight to the Top. Straight to the top. Basically, in my eyes, STTT looks at life as a mountain, and every step you take is a slow ascending climb to the top of your goals, your dreams, and everything you want out of this time we have on this planet Earth. What y'all think about that?
I just realized, as you're saying that STTT basically is every little step I take.
Yes.
You will be there every little step I make.
Isn't that a Bobby Brown song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our
podcast is not sponsored by Bobby Brown.
He does not know who we are at all.
All right.
Nope.
Fine,
Also,
fine.
while we're talking about what our podcast is not alike, this podcast is Y'all Boys Talkin. If you're all here for Y'all Boys Stalking, that's not the podcast we're doing right now. So
okay, I got it. All right, so
Frank, if you want to go, that's fine.
my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're
I'll stay though for now.
We'll catch you next time.
we're not doing any stalking here.
All right.
The concept of STTT is a slow but ever evolving one, and what you'll witness over the course of the few episodes is us going over a couple challenges that we will get into later. But that being said, our first segment is called STT of the Week, a story, person, or something that's happened this week in the light of STTT or ST3 that has inspired us to some degree, and that is going to go this week to Candace Payne out of Chi-Town.
Shabiria.
Candace Payne is a lovely black woman from Chicago that did something above and beyond ST3, and that is she copped 20 hotel rooms for homeless people out during the polar vortex, which is an awful negative, I don't know what negative degrees, I don't even know what that is. I'm in Miami, so that shit doesn't know, I have no idea what that is, but clearly there's these things called snow and wind that come from the sky over there, and it gets really, really cold. But Candace was like, fuck all that noise, I'm a cop ya, I got ya. And got an opportunity to do something really fucking good. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. So she originally got 20 hotel rooms, just charged them all to her personal mix just to help people out. She let people know what she was doing and was able to get even more money from more people and ultimately get over 60 hotel rooms for people that were, again, in below freezing temperatures in Chicago in the coldest storm that would come by in recent memory.
I mean, if that is not ST3, that is, I don't even know what that is. More often than not, we get caught up with doing things for ourselves, but sometimes we tend to forget that doing certain things for other people can actually better ourselves in the long run. Free pass to heaven.
Yeah, like what I like about this story is, again, she started the whole chain with the 20 rooms, but then ultimately other people saw the example she was putting down and exactly what she was trying to make happen, and then they jumped in on it as well, and it started like this whole train, this whole movement of people that were buying hotel rooms for homeless people in Chicago.
Can you imagine if we did that for student loans?
Yo.
Damn. But if we're all students, isn't that like basically like a pyramid scheme? Like if we're all students,
we're all paying
we
each
all
other.
have debt, and we all give each other debt. We're all just making more debt for each
Yeah.
other while paying off other people's loans, while making debt for other people.
Well, I know, like, I've heard of, like, Nicki Minaj, like, going into her comments and just paying off people's student loans based, like, from her fans.
Man, I've been keeping an eye out on those fucking threads for the longest.
waiting for
Yeah,
any
yeah,
sort
like,
of
so-
Wait,
tweet, like,
that's a
Some
thing.
celebrities have done that.
She's
Really?
done that several times.
And yeah, if people wanted to jump on that train, hell yeah.
But the beautiful thing about Candace Payne is that she's not a massive star. She did this out of the own kindness and humbleness of her own heart. Charged that Amex and was like, I'll deal with this shit later, and made freaking progress. That is amazing. Shout out to Candace Payne. You keep doing what you do. You're inspiring all of us, and I hope all of y'all learn from her. We're gonna take a quick break to get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. We don't have sponsors yet, but we have sponsors of good messaging. You'll see what I'm talking about. We'll be right back.
What? No. Shit. Not enough time to get your work done? Feeling too tired for your workout at the end of the day? Then try waking up earlier.
I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but when I started using waking up early, it was like adding hours to my day. Now I have time to make breakfast and get to work on time. I'm a whole new me. Thanks, waking up early.
Every morning used to be a struggle. It's still a struggle, but at least I get all my shit done. Thanks to waking up early, I can have a cigarette before I take the kids to school, and that really takes the edge off. Thanks, waking up early.
Waking up early is made possible in part by your alarm. Avoid annoying alarms that make waking up unpleasant. Snooze too much? Use apps like Alarmy that make you answer questions before you can turn it off. Waking up early is not recommended for everybody. Make sure you get your 6 to 8 hours.
And we are back. This is the fifth take of this by the time you're listening to it. But thank you for staying tuned. Now it's time for our meat and potatoes portion of this show, our challenges. Over the course of the past couple of years, we have had a front row in our development, and Maximo Santana came up with a brilliant idea. Instead of doing like boring New Year's resolutions, Max decided to do New Year's challenges. Why don't you give us a little insight on what that means, Max?
Yeah, it really comes in two parts. Part one is just we know each other pretty well. And everyone's got blind spots in their lives, and that's pretty regular. But to have a group of people that knows you very well and is able to point some things out in your blind spot and get you to action on those blind spots and really make yourself better. That's what these challenges are about. So all of us here worked together and we really sat down and thought these things through. How we can help each other get better throughout this year. So each one of us gave the other ones here a challenge. So I gave out 3 challenges and I received 3 challenges.
Well,
And
Max,
I
why don't
should
you
be
tell
able
us
to
what
complete.
those challenges are?
Before we get into the challenges, there's a
We're gonna
pretty
get
big
into
event
it.
happening to us this year.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Our high school reunion.
10 years.
10 years
10
have
years.
passed since we graduated.
We have decided to set a ticking clock, tick, 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 or beep, beep, beep if you're digital, or gong, gong, gong if you're a grandfather clock.
Or nothing if you have a phone that's just on your counter.
True.
I don't know if we're still hitting gongs with our phones.
Well, our high school reunion is this summer, and we've decided to make that the deadline for us to achieve our goals. If the last person that does not achieve that goal will unfortunately have to give a speech that concedes that they have failed themselves.
And in painstaking detail, tell us why they failed. What about them has led them to this failure point in their life?
And not just us, but yeah, in front of the entire class
of
people.
2009.
Those people we
Return.
didn't really talk to back in high school now need to know in great detail of how you failed your challenges.
Absolutely.
And hey, they'll either take it or leave it. And frankly, I do not want to go. You will hear me reiterate that over the course of this podcast. So I'm going to make sure I achieve my goals.
Yeah, but if we win, something amazing happens, and I think it'll make you want to go, Josh. If
Yes.
we win,
We all have to complete our challenges.
If we do complete all of our challenges,
All 12 of them.
all 12 of these challenges, if we do complete them, we will pull up to our 2009 reunion in a Lambo.
that's the plan. That's the whole plan, right?
Blasting Lamb Talk by Quavo
Yeah, like
Huncho.
has to be some Migos inspired, like absolutely.
I don't want to
And-
listen to anything but Migos in a Lambo.
Yeah,
Like,
why
it
would
makes
you?
the most sense.
Yeah, And
We'll be
I
the
love
first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I was gonna say we'll be the first group of 4 people to pull out in a two
Two-person Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
Yo, I'm fine with lapping up, my niggas.
Like it's all about lapping up. Like we balling, but we on a budget though. Like, yo, we can't all afford this rental on our own. We're gonna get 2 Lambos.
Listen.
The fuck we made.
Listen, I think it is absolutely sufficient if we have a Lambo and then a follow car, and then 2 people are in that Lambo. They get out, and then the other 2 people go into the other one
just
and
to get out of it.
Just to get
What if we get like a jitney to follow along in the Lambo, and then we just keep swapping places as the car drives forward?
For those of y'all that don't know what a jitney is, it is a shanty bus in Miami, Florida, predominantly ran by Haitians.
A shanty, but that sounds like people sing songs on it.
It is not that entertaining.
Actually, it is.
It's very entertaining. It's not.
Okay, I
filled
will
with
agree.
pirates, though.
It is
People sing
entertaining.
shanties.
Stop. All right. So we want to arrive in the Lambo. So that's why we're going to help each other complete these 12 goals that we have given each other, which, number one, aren't simple, aren't easy, aren't quick. But today we're going to set all the stipulations and we're going to let you guys hear those goals. And then we're also going to make sure that we know exactly what needs to happen for us to complete those goals.
Big facts. Why don't you start us off with your challenges, Max?
Absolutely. So I received 3 challenges, one from each of these gentlemen on this podcast. And Frank challenged me to start my great American novel. And I'm very excited.
American novel. I also want to add, like, because saying great American novel, like, he can write 3 pages to be like, this is novel or novella. Like, I don't know if there's, like, an exact page limit to how much to write, but initially I put 30, but Max, live on this podcast, that'll be pre-recorded when they listen to it, I would like to up the page count to 60.
Oh.
So by June, the first 60 pages of your great American novel.
Damn.
Great American novel.
Frank wants to hear you on that stage.
I don't want to do it impossible. I don't want you to do like a 300-page crazy thing, but I feel a 60 page of your great American novel to come up with a concept of and begin writing, because I know creative writing means a lot to you, and I know that sometimes you need just a little kick in the posterior to get that going. So this is why I'm challenging you with 60 pages.
All right. So if you see me step out of Lambo, that's because I wrote 60 pages of my great American novel.
Damn.
All right. So that's
real.
what Frank challenged me to do. Josh, on the other hand, challenged me to take my mental health seriously and start having regular meetings with a mental health professional, just because I've not done that at any point in my life. And I've only heard so many good things about it from everybody that's ever done that. So instead of just talking about it and hearing about how good it is, I need to actually sip some of the Kool-Aid and see what that's all about.
But Josh, why'd you challenge Josh? Josh, why'd you challenge Josh? Josh, why'd you challenge Max to see a therapist?
Well, you know, Max has been a man ingrained in his logic, and that has had many wonderful implications. I mean, you give this man a Rubik's Cube, a set of keys, and a dingbat, he'll make something happen.
But habitual line creator.
As an actor though, I have found that being in touch with your vulnerable side while being so based in logic, can have its benefits. And I think Max can benefit from that by getting in touch with his emotional side.
I'm really fascinated. I'm excited about this whole prospect.
Yeah.
Knowing Maximus Santana for 12 years, the idea of like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, seeing emotional Max.
See, emotional Maximus Santana?
Y'all are not ready.
Max, a little stipulation for that. I hope at one point between now and the reunion that you find time to cry.
Okay.
See, I don't think Max cries. I think he sits pensively and is like, correct. If he feels sad, it's like, this is sadness.
Yeah. Emotions validated.
Max, what's your third challenge?
So, my good friend Steve has challenged me to take this idea I've been mulling over for quite some time now. A nonprofit I'm trying to start called Best Lives.
You're not trying to start it. You're starting it.
I'm starting it. I'm trying to start it. I'm succeeding at starting it. All of those things are simultaneously happening. So Steve wants me to get 2 people to jump onto the Best Lives bandwagon. And it's a social media consulting strategy firm where we really take your life goals and we paint them via social media so that the rest of the world can see exactly how you see yourself. So I need to get 2 people to partake in that model and really figure out what I need to do to take it to the next level.
All right. So basically, you need to change 2 lives.
Exactly. So Steve, why'd you pick this challenge for Santana?
Well, it's something he has been talking about for quite some time, and he did a bit of research and just structuring, and in some way, I'll get into it on my challenges, but it just seemed like there was just all this preparation, but just we have some other people within kind of like within our graduating class, which by some coincidence are also doing similar things. So it's like, yo, Max,
they're fairly STTT.
Yeah, Max gotta get the ball rolling with Best Lives. So, I guess I think I specified it as getting them to start. Which is pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna also up mine to 3 to 3 people.
3.
Yeah, just 3 people to start it. You know,
Okay.
they because you can't predict how involved they'll be right off the bat.
True.
So yeah, just getting it started, having it going.
Yeah,
I think that's
that makes
feasible.
sense.
Yeah.
So Frank, why don't you tell us what your challenges are?
So Josh actually gave me my first challenge, which was maintain a consistent meditation regimen. Now, my brain moves real fast, and sometimes I just throw it out of my mouth before it goes through any processing. And, sometimes it could be bad, and sometimes it could be even worse. So I feel that keeping consistent with meditation could help me slow down and, kind of keep things together. But Josh, why did you challenge me to do this one?
You said most of it. I've heard you say you've struggled with anxiety, and aside from any sort of substances, the best possible way to seem to manage that is to meditate. I've had a wonderful experience having meditation a part of my life. I've had my ups and downs with maintaining it, but there was a time where I was like, yo, I get it. And based off of what you've told me, I think it'd be a top-notch thing to implement in your life.
No, and you're totally right. Like, and I did have very really serious issues with anxiety. Like my worst attack even being where I couldn't move my arms, I couldn't move my legs. I had to go to the emergency room, and those are just really difficult parts of my life. And thankfully, in the years since, I've been getting a bit better. But to continue on this journey of STTT, it's probably better if I continue to do these positive things. So meditation is definitely a challenge. Numero uno. Number dos from Steve is try the no S diet for 4 weeks. Now, so as far as being in shape goes, on a scale of being in shape to, on a scale of the best shape of my life to bad, I'm like not in the best shape of my life. Like Frank
used to look like Vin Diesel.
I had Vin Diesel qualities.
Well, actually,
in the
Frank
sense-
currently also does look like Vin Diesel.
I have Vin Diesel qualities.
Frank
Frank
used to
has-
look like Vin Diesel 2008, and now he looks like Vin Diesel 2013.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
So-
I like how they just like had him in the last Fast and the Furious. Like, whatever, man. He's out of shape. It's fine. Like,
I think Vin
standing.
Diesel just got to a point where they're just like, it's Vin Diesel, guys. He's driving a car.
Yeah.
The cars are fighting nuclear subs. Like, it doesn't, whatever. So,
hey, body positivity on fleek in Hollywood.
That's what I'm saying. But for myself, I definitely am not a big fan of kind of where I'm at right now. I've known what it takes to get in really good shape, and I'm definitely not doing those things right now. So,
Is
I've
that
tried a
why
number
you
of
challenged
different-
him, Steve?
Oh yeah, I mean Frank. Well, no,
Oh,
not
yeah.
not specifically because how he is now, but because of how I remember him in high school, and he's. I mean, even like throughout the years, he's just always been like, yeah, I'm going to the gym. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, I mean, and he does it. Like you see him, he's a muscular guy, but he's at the same time seems plagued by sour candies and just anything that's like
Snacks
overly
at work.
sugary. Like Frank is both person that I would know that could go to the gym but then come home and then just eat this 5-pound thing of just candies and stuff.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah. And so yeah,
nugget candies.
I thought this was a practical diet to try, see if it actually helps him control that, so that all the gains he makes in the gym don't become all fat.
You know what? In solidarity, Frank, I am going to also accept that challenge.
Whoa!
Oh, snap.
4 challenges.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have 4
Solidarity.
challenges. And Max, I have already accepted the challenge of going to a therapist. So I have 5 challenges.
Yo, stacks on
Okay.
deck.
Let's go.
But actually, to explain what the no S diet is, it's no snacking, no seconds, and no sweets. So,
Only on days that
Those
start
are
with
all-
S.
yeah, except for days that starts with S. And snacking is a big one for me because I work at an office job where I work in advertising, and there's a lot of great snacks very readily at my disposal. And sometimes work can get a bit tough, and then you mindlessly eat a bunch of snacks. So I do that a lot, and then I sit around all day, so it's not that good for me. So, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Is there any caveats you'd like to add to it?
I mean, I
Or
think 4.
4 weeks.
Yeah, I think 4 weeks is
All right.
solid.
All right, let's do it. And my third and final challenge would be speak up more at work concerning social issues, which is given to me by Maximo Santana. So there was an issue a couple months ago at work where, again, I work at an advertising firm where I'm one of the very few people of color at the office. And I actually heard this interview on The Breakfast Club not that while ago where the guy was being interviewed was talking about, like, you can have a room of 7 of the greatest white people in the world, like 7 Justin Timberlakes. If there's not one...
That's
That's your example of the greatest white people in the world.
I mean,
You're gonna
I
create
mean, like,
you're gonna create a couple Twitter threads about that.
Yeah.
Comment.
Okay,
You want
I'm
the
just-
top 7 great white people? You want to copy
All
Justin
different
Timberlake
Justin
7
Timberlake.
times? Yeah, I didn't know Frank was such a huge Justin Timberlake.
Damn.
This
fan, dude. I'm
podcast is
learning.
not sponsored by Justin Timberlake, by
Nope.
the way.
I'm low-key on Justin Timberlake's PR firm. No, but as far as like white people who are down and are like as not as ignorant about social or cultural norms and things of that nature, you could take 7 of those people, but if there's no diversity, if there's no people of color, things can get left off the table.
Yeah.
And as one of the very few people of color, I see that I can add my voice to conversations that need to be had, that can be continued, and I'd like to do it more. So
Well,
I
that-
need to do it more, and it's important to do it.
Would that mean that you need to educate yourself a bit more about the black condition?
I literally have a book next to me called
Black-
White
Black
Over Black,
condition?
about the black condition.
Yeah.
American attitudes towards the Negro, 1550, 1812. Like, you want to talk about
Holy
Wow.
yup.
What the historical? Okay.
Holy crap.
like to the point where I'm gonna go that back in time
Hold
to
on,
be
where
as educated
did
as
you
possible.
find this book?
What?
Where did you find this book?
at a flea market. I went to Oakland like a number of months back, and this was at a flea market. I'm just like,
Wow.
oh, okay.
Damn.
So yeah, I've been getting through it, and boy, it's some eye-opening stuff. Because the more back you go, the more racist it gets.
Oh yeah.
And it's just something that's so deeply ingrained within our country that it's very difficult for people, even well-meaning people who are Caucasian, to see where the issues occur. And the only thing that I could do as a person of color is just be as educated as humanly possible. So when something were to happen, I can correctly dispel notions that may occur and also give a voice to the people who typically don't have voices. But yeah, those are my challenges. And it's not that I'm expecting for some racist shit to happen between now and the reunion.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
But yeah.
Just incite some racist shit.
To incite all that. But
the people are not speaking in my direction. I am invisible to the system.
This is just like in 1812 when Vanderbilt Cleveland,
when Jebediah Johnstone Black was set back
Johnstone
by
Black.
a lack of
Yo,
facts.
Black History Month begins with Jebediah Johnstone Black.
All right, Steve, what are your challenges, sir?
Okay, so one of my first challenge was from Josh, who insisted that I simply start a journal, and which, you know, it's already a full month into the new year. I've started a journal, so if there are no stipulations.
Let's clarify.
Oh, okay.
Let's clarify.
Okay.
So, Steve, I want you to have a detailed account of your thoughts, minds, and souls in a journal.
Multiple souls.
Multiple minds.
All the souls you got.
Okay.
I want you to keep track of your life and make a journal and make a log from now all the way up until the day before the reunion.
Oh.
Okay, so every single
So
day.
this is literally an entry every single day.
Wait, what?
Until
Every
then.
day.
Wait. What kind of entry?
A journal entry. You are going to write down the thoughts of your day at the end of your day every day until the reunion.
Okay. Yeah, my original plan was to journal, do a mixture of just like day-to-day like task logging and, you know, making notes of things, and then journaling at the end of every Sunday to capture the thoughts for the week.
Nah, bitch.
I know.
Every day.
I will do it.
Every day.
I will do it every day.
Every day.
Every day.
But Josh, can you go into a bit of detail of why you gave Steve this challenge?
So I've always been fascinated by Steve's humor, and it's very fleeting. I want to capture it. I want to capture your distinct
You want to
voice.
put that shit in a bottle.
I want to put it in a fucking Pokemon, Steve. I'm fascinated with your ideas. I'm fascinated with your perspectives. And what I have seen is that this is an opportunity for you to capture that and to see your voice and develop your voice more. As a writer, you get an opportunity to get into characters' heads, and you've always been a fun character in my life. And you've always been a fun character.
I will write my best jokes, my best humor.
So you want a detailed joke book?
Yeah.
But primarily, I've thought about it, and I'm like, I think it'd be a great opportunity for you to develop your voice.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. I thought about something like that before, in a more offhand kind of way, but definitely helpful.
What's your last challenge? What's your next challenge?
My second challenge is from Frank, who insists that I create 2 music tracks and release them publicly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
So that I've started a bit. I haven't released anything, but I mean, if there's any stipulations in terms of length,
I do.
Oh, okay.
I now since we actually gave these challenges to each other a little bit ago, near the start of the year, I didn't really see like how how Steve would go about it, to see how down he'd be to do this, because I know that Steve had the idea to make music, and I know he's ridiculously talented, and like he likes fiddling around with like good old FL Studio, and I know he can make some dope stuff. But I really want to see like how he do it. And already even before this podcast, he started on this journey. So I'm actually gonna up that number.
Oh.
To 5.
Oh,
Bro, you might as well release an EP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Oh.
There you go. This is the new challenge. Steve, I would like you to create the Large Head 21, which was his old name, the Large Head 21 EP.
The Yo EP.
With songs that at the shortest could be 2 minutes. Boom.
Whoa.
5 at minimum 2
2-minute
minute
songs. One EP.
I'm excited to read about this journey in your journal.
Yes, I cannot wait to write about music. My third challenge is from Max, which is 2 words: wait less. From what I've interpreted as is, sometimes I get boggled down in either details or trying to execute something to the point of like perfection, where I end up or I just might end up not doing it. Or it's maybe a form of procrastination, and it's generally with like bigger decisions of and just boiling down also from indecision. So Max is encouraging me to start to jump the gun, and if there's something I kind of know that I want to do or start or whatever, plan out, that instead of just waiting months and months on dwelling on it, just do it.
Max, why'd you tell Steve to stop jumping the gun?
To start jumping the gun.
Start jumping the gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the correct way.
So in the 10 plus years I've known Steve, I've known him to be pretty well at like identifying the stuff he really wants to do and he feels really passionate about. And I think he doesn't need any guidance in, identifying those things and figuring out what he wants to spend his time doing. But then, of course, comes the part where you actually like jump out the perfectly well-flying plane, right? You can want to skydive, but then like jumping out the plane is like a very different, you need different senses to help you do that, right? So I think Steve is the kind of guy who will decide to jump out of a plane, but then when you got the parachute on and the door is open, and you're like, the plane works fine. Just trying to get him to like be like, listen, man, there's no, part in your mind where you're like, yes, I'm perfectly 100% ready to jump out of this plane. You sometimes just have to be like, all right, I'm here and I got the chute on. It's time.
I am excited to see that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting Steve know that he's got a good head on his shoulders, can identify these things. Just needs to, once he's identified those things, pull the trigger, jump out the plane, all that.
All right, Josh, what you got? What's your challenge?
My challenges. My first one from Frank Hernandez is create and follow a budget for at least 2 months.
That was my challenge.
My first challenge comes from Steve, and it is to create and follow a budget for at least 2 months. Steve, why did you give me that challenge? I know why you did, but for the listeners.
I guess for
everybody else.
For as long as I've known you, not so much that you've had issues with money or anything like that. It's more so your sources of income as an actor are very inconsistent. So
varied.
Varied. You have your highs, you have your lows, and it can be very tricky navigating your financial life when you're just not really sure when your next paycheck is going to come. So if in some instance where you just get this huge lump sum of money, you're like, oh my god, I've never had all this money in my life, like I'm just gonna go woo or whatever, like go crazy.
I do go woo when I have a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's actually
and it's a fun thing to do. I trust me, I've done it with my first student loan or not student loan, my first the Pell Grant thing from
the money that
the extra money. Yeah,
school money when they give you school
it's like
money.
woo. Yeah, that's crazy for an 18-year-old. And then I'm sure it gets even crazier as an adult when it's like higher in the digits. And so I just want you to have some more stability when that money lasts you like, a certain period, but then once it's gone, you don't know what's to come after. And it just some form of stability, really.
Big facts. Yes, I've had my highs, which were amazing. I had my lows. I mean, man, I did an obnoxious amount of spending, but I don't regret it. Moving forward, yes, I have found the importance of that. That being said, I got my ass a job, so there's a consistent income going on right now, and I have already started taking steps. But is there some sort of tangible thing that you need from me? Any stipulations or?
4 months of bank statements, W-2s.
In the challenge, it's 2 months.
Yeah, I guess for you to update it. Do you
update what?
No, so
update Steve's journal.
Okay, so there's different ways of budgeting. Like typically, you could either do it like week by week or monthly, where you just have like an overview of every dollar you spend.
I'll do it week by week.
Is it a spreadsheet? Is it a notebook? Is it a?
I think a spreadsheet would work.
Spreadsheets are good, and yeah, I want you to account every single dollar.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
Yeah, because that's a big important part of budgeting, even in like businesses where if you have money that's unaccounted for, it either goes to a surplus or like some type of deficit where you have to do something with it eventually. And that's really the hardest part too with personal finance is when you have unassigned money, then you just kind of put it in nonsense. So
it just goes straight.
Yeah,
to
if you
nonsensical investing.
Yeah, so if you have your debts and you have or if you have things that you want to save towards, put it towards that.
Copy that. Okay. My next challenge is from Frank, who has challenged me to keep a consistent workout schedule. The goal is for 3 months, but I'm gonna up the ante and make that 6 months.
Oh, so all the way.
All the way. All the fuck way.
All the way.
Wait,
I wanna.
Okay.
Hold on, sorry. I want to up the ante too and take that challenge.
Oh, you're gonna take it too?
A new challenge.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. I guess the goal is to look like a snack by the time graduate reunion comes along.
Reunion.
Yes.
Yeah. So I gave you this challenge because you currently live with 2 roommates.
3.
One of them being you currently live with 3 roommates. 2 that I know of that are in very good shape. One that you could follow online.
All of them are in good shape.
All of them are
because one of them trains the other one.
So you're surrounded by people who are in phenomenal shape.
Yes.
One of them being the composer of our wonderful theme song at Geno Music.
Geno Music, the realist.
The realist. He is fantastic, and you could look him up, and you'll see the first picture, and you're like, oh, okay, these are the people he lives with. And Josh is, he's out there.
Josh is the funny one. He's the funny
one. Josh is the funny
one. Damn. I'm gonna take that though. I am the funny one. And in the great words of someone on the internet, round is also a shape. But I'll still take your challenge. I also have some minor issues with my health, and getting in shape will also help mediate that. I want to be alive by the time we get to the reunion, so thank Frank. I think
that's a good
challenge.
plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I'm into
Thank you for that.
I also want to up the ante and say I will be jumping in.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Them boys in shape. Y'all boys in shape.
That's gonna be our fitness podcast. Y'all boys in shape. Last but not least, I have had a history with music, and that being said, Max has challenged me to. I get them mixed up. Max has challenged me to record more music, and bonus, if I play it with the banjo. I recently started playing the banjo, and currently developing a new genre of music called trap folk. So, Max, your wonderful challenge has led a nice path for me to do that.
Yeah, I do want to put some stipulations on that just
fuck.
because it's so open.
Add no stipulations.
It just says record more music and it's a relative
What is
term.
more?
Yeah, what is more, right? So I think it should just have a definite, amount of music. Just so that
You
we're
know
on the
what?
same
I'm gonna up my own ante, and I'm gonna
Oh.
also come out with an EP.
Yes.
I'm probably gonna regret this later, by the way.
But hey, we
Yo,
dream
Trap
big,
Folk
we
EP.
thinking big over here.
Wait. If you guys want me to do a Large Head 21 EP, it only makes sense for Josh.
Wait a second.
So that means that we gotta
Wait
come
a
out with an EP.
second.
Oh.
So
Oh, shit, that would
also,
actually-
but I do want to say I think there should be room for us to develop our own music.
yeah, no, of course.
I
But
think we
Yeah,
should come out with a
honestly-
track together, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
a track.
I think personally, I would still see it as meeting the goal if you guys both came out with a 5-track EP that had some Steve music, some Josh music, some
Combined.
collaborative.
Yeah.
music.
Okay.
To me,
Yeah.
that satisfies all the requirements.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
I like this.
Verbal handshake. That is.
I like.
All right.
All right. Well, those are our challenges.
Yeah.
Also,
we'll
the
be
up
reunion
week
of
to
Large
week.
Head 21.
Also, the
Yeah, like you heard it here first.
was
Large Head
expecting
20.
that.
Oh, like a quick what Large Head 21 was.
That was my screen name back in like middle school.
That was your AIM name.
Yeah, AOL
AIM.
Instant Messenger.
AIM.
Wow.
What a protocol for messaging people. And yeah, that was my handle. I was told I had a big head in elementary school, and I was like, it's funny. And
Own it.
yeah, I think the 21 was like my birthday backwards, so I just kind of ran with that.
And
Yeah,
that was a brief history on our short-lived rap group.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those
they're
are
back.
our challenges. You know what's up. We will be following ourselves over the course of the next couple months on how we are progressing and failing at them. Stay tuned for that. But for the time being, we're going to take one more break. We have one more segment. We'll be right back.
I work out 4 to 5 times a week, and I go ham every time I'm in the gym. Sweating is a way of life for me. That's why I drink water. Gulp. It gets me rehydrated pre, post, and mid-workout. Best of all, water's for everybody. It's gluten-free, 0 calorie, no sugar, no phosphate, sulfate-free, it's kosher, it's halal, and it tastes like water. When I'm at my best, I'm filling up my water bottle 6 or 8 times a day. When it comes to water, your glass should always be half full. Beautiful.
And we are back. Thank you for staying to the end of this podcast. For our last segment before we go for the day, thorn, rose, bud. Life is like a flower. Rose is something that happened this week that you were really grateful for. Bud is something you're looking forward to next week that you were grateful for. And thorn is something that happened this week that was just a thorn in your side. Frank, why don't you start us off?
All right, so I'm going to start off with the bad stuff. Thorn is fast food is delicious. I work a job from 10 to 7, and then from 7 to super late, I work a second job. And after an entire day, my willpower is kind of depleted, and the thing that's there to hug me at the end of the night is delicious fast food, which is not helping my workout goals, so that needs to get cut immediately. My rose is that I've kind of been killing it with my meditation and therapy. Being able to wake up every morning and have 10 minutes to just clearly think out through my life and my day has helped significantly, particularly because I live in Los Angeles and traffic is a pain in the rear. So the fact that I get a little bit of peace before starting off my crazy day is amazing. I've been also doing therapy for 2 months, and every time I go, I just feel like I'm peeling back this onion that is myself, and it's helping me my communication between myself and as well as my communication with others. So I'm thankful that that's happening. But as far as next week, I need to work out, you guys. So a lot of our challenges involved working out, and I've been doing yoga, but I haven't been doing like yoga. So like instead of just following the diet that I talked about previously, like I really need to step up my game with the workouts, and it's definitely going to be happening next week.
Max, what you got?
Yeah, so this week, my thorn is my various follies and workout fails. My new gym is really close to the office, and the best thing for me to do is to wake up early, head there, shower up, go to work. But that whole integrating that into my morning routine has been kicking my ass for the better part of 2 weeks now. So I need to find out something to do to change that, because it's just
You
not
will
happening.
find something to change that.
Thank you. I will.
Now that you said it.
Rose, I booked a trip to Paris with my brother and my sister earlier this week, and we're gonna be going to Paris. So I'm very excited about that. We've never been
super
out
cool.
on a trip, just us, the siblings. So I'm excited to see how that goes. But I've had a lot of fun creating more creative things for the podcast. So the commercials, the little interstitials have been super fun to work on. It's been a great creative outlet for me, and it's a new kind of medium that I'm working with. So I'm getting to find new things to do with it every single day, and just find different nooks and crannies to go into, and other things that just open my eyes to the world of audio engineering and putting together things just for people to listen to. So very excited about the creative aspects of the podcast.
Steve, what you got?
So with this huge cold front that we've had over here, pretty much everywhere in the country, my skin hasn't reacted in the most favorable ways. It's been getting to a point where it actually hurts, and I need to either treat it better or hydrate it, do something, just because it's unpleasant to have my elbows hurt on literally any surface that I put down. So that's
I
been a
assume
huge
this
thorn.
is your thorn, right?
This is definitely a thorn. Did I say something? Did I say it was?
He loves it when his elbows hurt.
Okay, yeah, this is definitely a thorn. On the contrary, my rose is waking up early, that I've recently discovered is actually very possible by going to sleep early.
Ooh.
And so
Phenomenal.
things just kind of make sense. I get all the things I love about the darkness and just the quietness of the late night by doing it just much earlier. And then it's a nice way to start the day. And my bud is that I'm going to go snowboarding in Utah with my good bud, my girlfriend.
With my marijuana? What?
My bud.
Yeah,
Like,
that was like an Air Bud movie, but
my girl bud. Yeah,
That's
I've never
awesome.
done it before. It seems exhilarating, and yeah, I can't wait to get beat up by the snow.
Nice.
yeah, I've gone twice, and it's just basically getting your ass kicked, getting pummeled by snow for for hours, which is a great time, and I'm excited for you to go
Yeah.
on this.
My thorn this week is that I jumped the gun on a date. I got in my feels and was really excited about this awesome girl that I was on a first date with, and I asked her to kiss because I'm all about consent, but I think that might have turned her off a little bit, that I jumped the gun a little too soon. So I'm going to address that moving forward, and maybe wait to the second date to try to make a move. And maybe reevaluate what I think is move worthy. My rose.
Look, Josh, one of the things that I appreciate about that, and I've told you this before, is that the fact that you're very upfront with your intentions right up
Yes.
there. If she wasn't feeling it, then, that's just life.
Big
Yeah.
facts, big facts.
Um,
My bros this week is that your boy got a car. It's old as fuck, but it gets me places. And I drove to work for the first time in my life, and that shit is lit. I just get the fuck up, and I go to where the fuck I need to go, and that's it. It sucks that I'm contributing to climate change, but for the time being, that shit is popping.
but you get in there faster, man.
is
That's
it a
beautiful.
Hummer?
That-
How fast?
Yeah.
Far
I mean,
from a
you're
Hummer,
off.
but
You're offsetting it by not eating beef and
Oh,
all
that's
these
true.
cows. So
that's true. That's true. Thank
car-
you. Thank you.
carbon
My carbon
offset.
footprint is smaller. My bud is that what I'm looking forward to next week is I'm getting back to the gym. I am very much excited to establish a gym routine and stick with it. So I thank you guys for being the tinder to that fire. On that note, thank you to everyone that tuned in, that is listened in on our inaugural episode. We appreciate it. Stay tuned for another episode where we will continue following our journey to the top. You guys have an amazing and productive week.
We got a couple shout outs we want to give. Shout out to Gino Music, who made the opening theme song. The song is called Won't Stop. 80 and Lewis for making the transitional interstitial vibes. Follow all of our challenges and all of our social media at ybt.fm. You can follow us also on Twitter at Y'all Boys Talkin, not to be confused with Y'all Boys Stalkin. New episodes are out every Wednesday. Stay tuned. Tell a friend, tell a cat, tell a dog. See you soon.